Hello. Hi everyone. Oh, don't look empty. Just in this sea of purple. There'll be components here eventually, I assure you. Hi everyone. Let's have the box there, right? That makes sense. Here's what we're going to be playing tonight. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be really. The lights work against me, don't they? We need some kind of dimly candle-lit room, really. Doesn't translate so well for this camera. But we're going to be trying to summon a demon, really. I don't know how successful we're going to be at that. Try our best, eh? But yes, this is Aleph Null, which is a solo-only card game from Tony Boydell, who you may know from, amongst many things, Snowdonia, my favourite. He's done loads of things there. Guilds of London, Alibari, the thing that's escaping me now. Foothills, that's kind of spin-off of Snowdonia. So, we have one goal in this game. We want to summon Baphomet, the Sabbath Goat. We do this with cards. There are some cards that will help us summon the big bad demon. There are cards that we need to help us play those cards. It's very tricky. It's a game that you want to kind of play again and again and again and get more used to, so you know what might be coming up. You'll still be surprised by the interference cards that will get in your way, but your core deck stays the same. So yeah, the more used to these cards that you get, the better you'll be at it. I say that to kind of preface the fact that I've played this 4 times so far. I've lost every time. I feel like I've gotten close. I am on easy difficulty. But yeah, once you have cracked it, it gets harder and harder than that. So here is our grimoire. It's also going to track the rounds of the game, the number of times that we can go through our deck before night is gone and it's too late. And it'll give us instructions of how to set the game up and stuff. I've already done all of the setup things. Hey James, I'm coming through okay? Brilliant. I should have checked that before I went rambling on, shouldn't I? Hey Roberto. Greetings from Brazil. Oh, thank you so much for watching from Brazil. Before we get started, I should say about the places, shouldn't I? If you'd like to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or Ko-fi. It's how I'm able to do any of this, really. You can see the recorded playthroughs, of which there are many lately. I've got so much stuff to do at the moment, but hopefully you're enjoying it as it arrives on the channel. Yeah, there's early access for those playthroughs. You can join the Discord and stuff, but mainly you enable the whole thing to happen. So thanks for doing that. So let's have a look at this this grimoire, shall we? So the first page basically tells us how to set it up. So these are the difficulties of the game. We are still in easy, the Circle of the Adept. So we play with 3 randomly chosen interference cards from level 1 or 2. And they go in the transition from hours 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5. So when the hour changes from 2 to 3, we will get an interference card in our way. So hour 1 is sunset. And there is a loads of, like, this is based on, I should say as well, it is based on the author James Blish, the work of the author James Blish. So the cards themselves, the text on them and stuff, the kind of feel of this game from its components and stuff. There's this like wooden, what should I say, lectern? I don't know what qualifies something as a lectern. This wooden book holder comes with the game. But yeah, it's got loads of lovely thematic touches like that, but also has a soundtrack that I'm not using for this because I don't know if I'm allowed to put that in a stream. But yeah, you can go on the website and listen to the proper soundtrack as you play through the game as well, if you wanna. Oh, thanks, James. You've done them all. Oh yeah, there's shirts. You can go on Sir Meeple. Tim of Sir Meeple has made some amazing merch, and you can buy it if you would like to. There's mugs, there's shirts and stuff. If you would like, not my mug on them, you get Marty's, of course. That's what you'd want. Marty Cam, no, he's downstairs, I think. He's not being cooperative with us today. So at the start of our round, so this is hour 1, sunset. The preparation of the operator. Having memorized what to say and do with my powers of will, I can do some witching too. That's from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Commence the rituals of preparation. So when we start, we need 5 cards in our hand. At the end of the hour, when the deck is depleted, shuffle the discard pile to make a new deck and turn the page. So we will keep going basically until we can't draw enough cards at the start of a round. So we have our 5 cards. That's not a great start. So there are many different kinds of things in the game. The actual rules for the game are quite small because a lot of the rules are kind of in the interactions of these cards and how they kind of work together. There are a load of reference cards that, something comes out and you're not quite sure how it works, you can jump straight to it, and a separate one for all the interference cards because you don't quite know which ones are going to be in your game yet till they pop up. So, our cards. Well, I suppose we should go to the interference card straight away. You've got an interference card in your starting deck. If that comes out, you must summon it if you have at least 1 summoning power available to do so. It costs 1 summoning power. I haven't got anything. So basically, that's it. As James says, that's it. That's the end of the turn, straight away. This interference card means you have got to spend stuff you've already got to put this card out. If you cannot summon Actoi, then end your turn immediately. Great. So, that's it. He's out of the way for now. We discard all of these things, but all of these other cards, which, we can have a look at them still. So the wax candles are kind of your bread and butter, right? Your starting way of getting this summoning power. So you can put them out for free, and you can scrap them to gain a summoning power. If the hour is 4 or more, though, they get sacrificed instead. So scrap means they go to your discard pile. Sacrifice means they're out of the game. So these are important to enable us to play more and more things. Like, say, the salamander would cost both of those, and the salamander can be scrapped to get 2 more. So the wax candles are back in your deck, ready to come out and give you more stuff. Or you could sacrifice it to get 3, because things can get quite expensive. Because the aim of the game is to have the things out so we can summon Baphomet. But it's not even as simple as that. Having the things out to be able to summon him is just kind of one piece of the puzzle, or the 3 different pieces of the puzzle. But there's more involved. You also need, when he appears, Baphomet expects there to be no cards in your hand, the deck, and your discard pile. If there are any cards remaining in any of those 3 zones, you lose. You can also lose by taking too much damage, and you can lose by running out of time. Not losing doesn't mean that you win either. You'll come up with a score, and then you'll see if you win. Basically, this is all kind of this is a moot point because we drew that interference card straight away. Can't have any summoning power at the very, very, very start of the game. So yeah, that's a turn gone. So that's all discarded, and we draw 5 more cards. Might hold us back not having any of those wax candles right from the start. Hey John, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So what have we got now? There is Baphomet. Baphomet. The Sabbath goes either way. So you can see we haven't seen any of the key cards yet, I don't think. They weren't in the first hand, were they? To summon him, we need to sacrifice the Book of Pacts, the Wand of Power, and the Grand Circle. We haven't seen any of those yet. When summoned, sacrifice all other cards in play, preventing all of their... Now this kind of crucifix symbol here is... A lot of cards will have... So we can see one here on the Wealthy Tanist. They've got a normal scrap ability, so you can discard it once it's in play to gain a summoning power. But when it's sacrificed, so removed from play completely, you draw 3 cards. That doesn't happen when Baphomet makes everything go away. So we have got some basic things here. We've got the wax candle we might as well get out, so I'll have my hand at the bottom here. The stuff I'm putting into play we'll put higher up. The Wealthy Tanist might as well go out. So that's 2 things we can scrap to gain summoning power now. We've got the Chasuble, which is an artifact. It costs 5 summoning power. That's not happening this round. When you draw an interference, you may sacrifice this to sacrifice the interference instead of summoning it. Could save you from a nasty ability on one of those cards. And we've got the Deck of Cards. Sacrifice this to draw a card and then discard 2. Might really help you, especially later on when you particularly need something at a particular time. I don't think I want it just yet, though. Can't afford to play this. Can't play that. Well, can't afford to play that either because I need the keys out. Might regret not putting that deck of cards out, but I don't think I'm going to this time. And it's one and done. We do want to whittle stuff down. Like it's all about kind of timing when you're doing stuff, as well as the order things come out and can you afford the cost of things. So here we go. In my new hand, the Book of Pacts. This is one of the keys we need to achieve our goal. 3 summoning power, and you can scrap it to draw a card and gain a summoning power. So it doesn't have to, once it's out, it's out. There are other keys that we'll probably see fairly soon at this rate that, you don't want them out too early. So we've got the Tanist. It's just a different Tanist. It's got a different sacrifice power. So when you sacrifice it, you can search the deck for a card and sacrifice it. Might really help you out. But other than that, the scrap ability is the same. Circle of Protection is an artifact. Costs 2 to get out. And you can sacrifice it to sacrifice an artifact. An Interference might really be good. Or a Tanist. We've got our Sacrificial Lamb. Costs 3 summoning power to get out. You can scrap it to gain another 3. And then your other things that gain you power are back in the deck. Or you can sacrifice it to just gain 2. So it works a bit of the opposite of the other one. We've got Besom, an artifact. Costs 1 summoning power. And you can pay 1 to sacrifice this. When it's sacrificed, put a card from the discard pile either into your hand or on top of the deck. So a way of kind of maneuvering stuff around. I'm tempted to... Well, put the Tanist out. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm not even tempted to do that. I'm tempted to get the Sacrificial Lamb out, though. Just so these are back in the deck for the next hour. And we can keep generating some nice stuff. There is the Book of Pacts we could get out. And then that's one of our keys done. You might end up scrapping it just to gain a card. But I think we're going to do Sacrificial Lamb. That sounds kind of okay. I need your guidance, James, if you've won. How many times have you tried on easy? You've won 1. Is that a lot of attempts, would you say? So spent all of our summoning power to put that out. These, well, they're not too expensive, are they? We could scrap this to put this out, but then there was no point in putting that out at all. Tony, hey Tony, I'm gonna embarrass myself messing up your game. There's only Tony Boydell's in the chat, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I've got a Sacrificial Lamb out. Am I being a good boy? I'm being a good demon summoning boy. So we are. Well, there's not many cards left. We'll be seeing the keys at some point. So we've skipped past 1. Here's the Wand of Power. Another thing that we need out. We were actually... This might have been possible if I hadn't just scrapped those Tanists last turn. So the Wand of Power has got a special summoning ability. You need to sacrifice 3 Tanists and you prevent all of their sacrifice abilities. So you don't get all of their lovely things, and they're gone. That's their cost. And then you can scrap a card that's in play, so like my Sacrificial Lamb is, to sacrifice another card in play with the same or lower magical power cost, and then take a damage. So it's the first mention of damage. We've got 3 damage tokens. We ever need to take that 3rd, we have lost, we're dead. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But, it's risky summoning these things. So yes, I did have 2 Tanists out. No longer. I do have Mother Shipton, who is a Tanist. But, you got to time these things right. You got to have them out at the right moment. So we can put that aside for now. We've got the Bell. You can pay a summoning power to sacrifice it, and then name a non-key card. So everything but our 3 big keys. Reveal cards from the deck until you reveal the card you want. Summon it for free and discard everything else. I mean, there are some very, very expensive things you could get out with that. Well, I think it's 5, like the most expensive thing. Mother Shipton, another one like the other Tanists. Scrap them to gain a summoning power. Their sacrificial ability is look at the top 3 cards of the deck, draw 1 of them, discard 1, and sacrifice 1. So yeah, I don't tend to... I wonder if, from my failures... I've played this, we were saying earlier, Tony, I've played it 4 times, and I've lost 4 times, which... So James is beating me. He's won on his 3rd try. I'm thinking if... Cause I did summon once, but with nowhere near clearing all the cards out of the way. But yeah, I'm wondering if I'm not sacrificing anything early enough. I'm too scared of sacrificing things in hour one because and they're gone for the whole game. But by the end of the game, you gotta sacrifice it all. So yes, Mother Shipton, exercised water costs 2 summoning power, and you can sacrifice it to sacrifice a card in the discard pile. And Bolin, an artifact with magical power, scrap it to gain 1, sacrifice it to gain 2. So worth getting out, isn't it? One of our lovely things that costs nothing but will let us gain some stuff. And yeah, I don't want to get rid of my sacrificial lamb to just put out, say, the bell, but maybe worth scrapping this to get the bell out. And summon it for free. But you discard everything you reveal. So you could really tear through an hour with the bell. If you say you want a particular expensive thing and it's at the bottom of the deck. It's the same at the start. It's a trickstery game. It tempts you with all of these devious things. Right. So that's the easy decision. And we want you out as well. Because why not? Then we do want to sacrifice things later. We want to have these opportunities out there. I want to leave you out. I think I want the bell at the ready. I'm going to scrap this to gain a summoning power and put the bell out. So our final key is still in the deck. We will discard and reconvene. The hour's drawing to a close. I've now not got enough cards to draw again. So this is probably our last turn because we've seen something I've already discarded that would have let me draw some cards. Right, so our key is still in the deck, the one we haven't seen so far. The Weeping Tree, an artifact, sacrifices to choose 2 different things. Discard or scrap a card, sacrifice a card from your hand. This is my hand at the bottom here. Gain magical power, summoning power, and draw a card. The Golem, artifact and a Tanist, you can sacrifice a Tanist and pay 2 summoning power. When Golem is being summoned or in play, you only take damage from using the Wand of Power. So the Wand of Power, it did tell us, its damage cannot be prevented. So that would be good if we were going to take damage in any other way. And maybe this, we have to sacrifice a Tanist to get this out. This is one of the Tanists we could sacrifice to put the Wand of Power out later on, maybe. Wax Candle, I want out, of course. We want more summoning power. We want all of these things. The Salamander. Just another way of generating some stuff. The Mirror. Next time a card is sacrificed, sacrifice Mirror and copy the sacrifice effect of the other card. Ooh. That could be quite nice. If, say, so if that was out, and I wanted to sacrifice the Tanist to put the Golem out, I could sacrifice this instead and still get that ability. And there are 3 cards left in the deck, so it'd still work. I don't think I can afford that, though. Gee, I'd need 2 to put this out. I could sacrifice the Sacrificial Lamb. But we then wouldn't have enough to put the Golem out. It's a nice thought, isn't it? Hi, Matt. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. James, you think you were very lucky with how the cards came out? Yeah, that's going to be a factor as well, isn't it? Like, it's not like a terrible thing to happen, but turn 1, we got our interference. That's your turn over. So not getting those candles out and that summoning power right at the start will hold you back a bit. But hopefully we can recover. This has got to be my time to shine, right? I've been building up to this. No clues. That's true as well. The whole thing, I think we were talking about this at the start, right? The whole thing is about, learning from these interactions and trying to figure out what you did wrong. I'll get there eventually, maybe. Ooh, you'd get it twice. Oh, the sacrifice effect and that. Oh. I don't want to waste the turn and not summon anything. But I want my sacrificial lamb to get me 3's worth of stuff. No, I think having the mirror out is going to be alright. I feel wrong about this. I'm sacrificing the sacrificial lamb. That's what it's there for. To get 2 summoning power rather than the 3 I could have had. Just so we're not confusing. It does go here, but just so we're not confusing things, I will remove it from your sight. We'll get a mirror out here. So I can't now afford... Well, I could get 2 more here, but I can't sacrifice. There wouldn't be a Tanist in play to sacrifice. I could get 2 to put, say, the Salamander out. Or the Weeping Tree. Good to have these effects, but what's in those 3 there? It would be nice to sacrifice this just to look at those 3 cards and have some stuff going on with it. But no, I'll move on. So we'll see our... But it's gonna move on. The hour's gonna move. It'll be okay, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. Right, so what we do now is we try and draw our 5 for the turn. And we can't. So, at the end of the hour, when the deck is depleted, shuffle the discard pile to make a new deck and turn the page. So, have I made the right decisions already? We've gone through the whole deck. I know there's 3 cards you haven't seen yet. But these cards aren't going to turn up in that deck. Are they going to hold us back? Oh yeah, the Snowdonia expansion. Going to be at the Naylor Games booth, right? Well, next week, at some point, the stream, it's probably going to have to be earlier than Thursday, right? But I think the stream is going to be the UK Games Expo stream. Some exciting things coming from Naylor Games, but one of them being an enormous expansion for Snowdonia. Which is already, it's pretty hefty, isn't it? I can't wait. Right, oh yes, we shouldn't be, just because I'm shuffling. So, hour 2, the curfew bell, the fasting of the Tanists. I don't know why I'm just reading that to myself. Now that the sun hath veiled his light, and bid the world good night, to the soft bed my body I dispose, but where shall my soul repose? That's my best. We need Richard O'Brien or something to be reading these bits out, don't we? I don't know why him, why not? It'd be good at it, wouldn't it? Right, okay, so let's look at the 3 cards we haven't seen before yet. The pricier ones. So we've got our key, our 3rd key to make the summoning happen. The Grand Circle. It can only be summoned via the Lodestone over here. We'll look at that in a minute. But when it's in play, sacrifice any card that would be scrapped or discarded, preventing all their sacrifice abilities. So, lovely to get out. It's one of your 3 pillars. It's one of your 3 keys you need to summon Baphomet. But once you've done it, there is everything you discard, everything you scrap is permanently gone. So, yeah, there's probably been more mistakes, but I'd say the Grand Circle coming out in at least a couple of my games has been like, oh no, that was a terrible decision to summon that. Getting all excited because I had it at the right time and I could summon it. I mean, you should. The Lodestone. This is how we get the Grand Circle out. Costs 4. Scrap it to draw a card, or sacrifice it and pay 6 to summon Grand Circle from your hand. So you've got to have that 6 available and have the Grand Circle in your hand at that time. And we've got the Devil in the Hearth. Costs 4 to get out, can scrap it for 3, or sacrifice to gain 5 summoning power. And then from the ones we've seen before, we have got our Tanists. So we could have 3 Tanists to sacrifice here, couldn't we? It would be nice if the Golem came out first, wouldn't it? But that's preventing me from taking damage. We could, with the Tanists, have the Lodestone out, but I'm probably not going to... Yeah, I'm probably not going to summon it anytime soon. We could have the Tanist out and then just get the Devil in the Hearth out, so we've got the potential to have 5 summoning power at the ready. Definitely want the Tanists out, there's no question about that. But I don't want to say goodbye to it all. But I think I'm going to have to. I think we should summon some other things before that lodestone. Summon 5 new things. And we want our candles out. Let's just stack these a bit. I know I'm not really zoomed out to be stacking cards on top of each other, am I? So our golem, we can sacrifice a Tanist and pay 2. And we won't take damage. Apart from the Wand of Power, but we can't stop that from happening. We need to get some of these things out. So Weaving Tree is something that's going to be sacrificed. It can help us sacrifice other things as well. I think if... Oh, we don't have to sacrifice the Tanist though, do we? We can sacrifice the mirror. Sacrifice the mirror and pay 2. And we can copy the effect of the card that we would have hypothetically sacrificed. Search the deck for a card and sacrifice it. Draw 3 cards. Drawing 3 cards might be really good. Oh, it's getting sacrificed as well. So I'll just get it twice. We've been through this, Tony. I'm sorry. You have to speak up. I'm hard of hearing tonight. So I will lose both things, but I'll get it twice. I don't know if I want to draw 6 things. Maybe that's good for when I want to... Maybe that's good for when I sacrifice the 3 Tanists and I don't get any of their abilities. I would still get one of them once, wouldn't I? We would get the thing this time, though, for sacrificing it for the golem. So let's sacrifice a Tanist. So you're gone, and your sacrifice ability is... draw 3 cards. I need to pay 2 summoning power as well to get that golem out. But the golem is also a Tanist. So can we do anything with these things? Oh! Okay, well, it's got to come out sooner or later. So we've got... It's a Tanist, though. So we've got our interference. If you have got a summoning power available, you must summon it. Otherwise, that's it. So... yeah, it's a shame because it's going to be a Tanist, but I'm going to lose one of my 3 Tanists. But... oh, I don't choose the mirror. Okay, thanks, Tony. I was being choosy. It does say, doesn't it, the next time a card is sacrificed. We're thinning down the cards, though, aren't we? Right, let's get summoning some of this stuff so I can clear this out. We can't summon any of it until we've done Aktoi. So we will scrap the Learned Tanist to gain a summoning power to put them out. There we go. And another... when's our first... I think our first interference is between hour 2 and 3, so that's coming. So you are free and give me stuff. Nobody else is free. We do have the Wand of Power, though. I feel like I should have sacrificed a different Tanist now. But no, it'll be okay. So we've got the Wand of Power. We could sacrifice. You're a Tanist. We've got our 3, haven't we? I mean, it will have kind of wasted the golem's damage prevention abilities because it's going to have gone. But I suppose one advantage, it's cost us 2 summoning power, but I did get to draw those 3 cards and I got to do it twice. Whereas sacrificing them for the Wand of Power, I'm not getting anything. Apart from the Wand of Power, of course. And it can't prevent damage from this anyway. Do I want to lose them now? It's tough. Yes. You're just an interference. I'm okay with you. I'm sad about the golem, really. I feel shaky about this decision. I feel shaky about all of my decisions, though. I'm just broadcasting it tonight. We've got the Wand of Power out. We've got one of the things. We've still got a summoning power available, so we could get like the deck of cards out, which once it's out, it's available to be sacrificed then, isn't it? We've gotten rid of pretty much everything else. So the deck of cards is the only thing we can get out of all of this stuff. And we could sacrifice it to gain 2, couldn't we? We don't have to be married to just generating 1. If you got that salamander out, sacrifice it, get that salamander out. Oh, and yeah, we could have sacrificed to gain extra summoning power, couldn't we, at some point? Go on, let's sacrifice it a bit. Sacrifice, yes. Done. We could sacrifice that and summon for 3, like the Book of Pact. Another key, 2 keys, 1 turn. I mean, you do want to get this stuff out as well, because we've got to thin it all. Save that. Yeah. I want you out, but you're expensive. But that's why you want the bell. You wouldn't be able to name this from the deck, though, because it's not in the deck. We'll go for it. The block is beautiful. Which we weren't here earlier. This is a solid wood block holding this card-based book. That comes with the game. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got... Okay, so the end of the hour it's at hand again. I have sacrificed a lot of things. That's... Well, that is a decision that I've gone for, isn't it? Compared to where I usually am at hour 2. Yikes. Okay. So, Baphomet is not about. He's not coming out. We could scrap a salamander to put a salamander out. I don't know why we'd do that, though. So we've got our wax candles. If I could remember what that card was, I could bell that card into existence, couldn't I? I don't know if that's the best thing to do with it. So we could just get 2 from this and get another salamander out. Seems worth doing, doesn't it? We have got our vitriol. Scrap a wax candle and take this into your hand to draw 2 cards. But at the end of your turn, sacrifice your hand instead of discarding it. There's a risk of doing that all the time as well. I think Lodestone was one of the first 3. Yeah, Lodestone's already been drawn because Lodestone was one of the 3 cards we hadn't seen in hour 1. So it's not Lodestone, the Grand Circle. It's probably something little in it. The Devil in the Hearth was the other expensive thing. We've got a couple of wax candles, and I've got the other 2 out here. So yeah, we haven't got rid of any of them yet. Book of Pact, Chasuble. I'd like that to have been in there, but you can't be that lucky about it. Is it one of the Tannists? No. No, I don't think it is. Is it Bessem? It's Bessem, isn't it? Besom? I can't remember how much that's. Besom. I need to I suppose, like, you'd be summoning something good, wouldn't you? It would be the time to do it, wouldn't it? Because it's not going to discard a load of cards for me, and then that's gone, and this is out. How have I forgotten already? It's not a free thing, is it? I want the salamander out, but you. You're going to be the payments for that. Maybe we put a vitriol out. Because you don't necessarily have to get everything sacrificed, because once Baphomet is put into play, all the cards in play will be sacrificed. So even if I never get to use the vitriol and sacrifice it some way, if it's out, it's okay. Let's put that out with one wax candle. I'm not going to get to do its thing because we can't draw two cards, and I don't want to sacrifice my hand at the end of the turn. That would be game over. I don't want to sacrifice the point of the ritual. Should we do the bell? Pay the summoning power. Besom. Oh no, there's two cards. That's okay though, isn't it? As the Circle of Protection's been out, hasn't it? It's not that one. Exercised Water. Yeah. So it's Exercised Water and Besom. So I paid the wax candle. We sacrifice you. And I will say... Besom. Okay, Exercised Water was on top. I think Exercised Water would have been the right choice. So we discard everything that we went past. But we have got the Besom out. We can pay one to discard that, sacrifice this, and then when we sacrifice it, we can put a card from the discard pile into our hand or the top of the deck, which would be good if we've gone past something that we're desperate for. Okay. Questioning my decisions. Okay, we move on to hour 3. Midnight. We gain an interference card. Yeah, Grim is definitely on brand. Dante loved circles, didn't he? So you may see the interference card coming, but you don't know what it is yet. Oh yes, and the hours coming up are special. We've got these tokens to remind us. We get a magical power. This hour provides a magical power once. If you don't spend it, you take a damage. So you've got to remember to spend that at midnight. The fumigation of the artifacts. The life so short, the craft so long to learn. Try not to look. I saw the interference card flash by then. Right. So 5 cards. One of them's the interference card, so that's got to be dealt with as it's drawn. The Succubus. It's another Tanist. You must summon this card. at the end of the turn, before discarding... Oh dear. Have we lost? At the end of the turn, before discarding, sacrifice Succubus and all cards in hand. So I've got to summon the card. It doesn't cost anything. I don't think I've got a way of discarding something. I've got a way of drawing 2 cards, but I don't have a wax candle to make it happen. I can put you out to get an extra magical power, but I think... The Wand of Power, of course. Scrap a card in play to sacrifice another card in play. So we could just sacrifice the Tanist and then we haven't lost anything. Well, that is a magical power lost, but we've got a magical power from there. It's not ideal, but, well, it is ideal because otherwise you lose. So let's not talk about ideal. So we scrap you, and that sacrifices another card in play with the same or lower magical power cost, but we take a damage. That's okay for now. The 3 of it. We're gone. Oh, we sacrifice both. Do I still want to sacrifice that one? Well, you'll get to search the deck for a card and sacrifice it. Do I want to do that? Sacrificing that wouldn't be good because I'd have nothing in the discard pile. So we could search the deck for a card and sacrifice it. But I don't know which one I want to sacrifice. We've kind of been forced. Well, I haven't been forced to... You could sacrifice that one and that would generate 3. Okay, if we do some thinking. That would generate... If we did that sacrifice, we'd still get to sacrifice the Succubus. But then you'd get 3 magical power. There's your 4th. There's your Lodestone. Don't want to use it for a bit, but it's out. Okay, you talked me into it. So I'll sacrifice you to also sacrifice the Succubus. There's the 4th. And so we can put the Lodestone out, right? Is it? Oh. Okay, let's not do that then. Let's stick with the plan to sacrifice the Tanist, and I will separately sacrifice the Salamander as a normal thing. So I've spent all of my magical power to do that, but we haven't lost, which was on the cards a minute ago. So yeah, sacrifice the Tanist to do the Succubus. Take the damage from the Wand of Power. 3 magical power plus 1 from the card for the Lodestone. And that's alright, isn't it? We still need to come up with 6 magical power at some point, and I am burning through freebie magical power cards. We just got to build them back up. Because that's the one you want out. Well, probably not all the time. I feel like it's the one I want out later. Because once that Grand Circle's out, it starts sacrificing everything that you discard. sacrificing salamander to get power. But sacrificing it to kill the succubus won't trigger the power because the salamander doesn't have the cross icon. Okay. So you've got to it's got to have that to trigger it. Okay. Oh, thanks, James. Thanks, Patreon then. Right. So I think we're on then, aren't we? We sacrificed we got rid of the Tanist to sacrifice the succubus with this, and we took a damage. And then the lodestone was summoned. I think I'm back on the rails now. Hey, wax candles. You're needed. There's the grand circle, but not this hour. Nothing else that gives me magical power at the moment. Kind of went all in on the lodestone. We could get the exercised water, sacrifice something in the discard pile. There is a salamander in that discard pile. I'll probably want that later though. This might just be a wax candle kind of turn. We could pay a thing to sacrifice this, and when it's sacrificed, put the salamander back in, but then we wouldn't have the magical power to play the salamander. We could scrap one of the wax candles and bring this back into our hand to draw 2 cards. Or we could just put the exercised water out. And then it's ready. But I feel like we want to build some stuff up. I do want to get rid of all of these things. And yeah, we'll just have that as a turn. Just draw some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got our lovely deck of cards. There's another wax candle. And the Book of Pacts. So we could get our second key out. Circle of Protection might be good to get out to get rid of an interference in the future if there's something else like the succubus coming. We don't know what those other 2 interference cards are. Deck of cards could just be worth I do want to build things up. But when we shuffle this deck, next turn, an interference is coming out. I think do you want to leave yourself with no power, though? You will have 1 power. Get the Circle of Protection out. Do you want the deck of cards out as well? I want the wax candles to come out again as well. I guess that's the advantage. They will be sacrificed, though, this time, when they come around. I might have locked myself up doing that. I could just sacrifice it now to draw a card. And then discard these 2 that aren't getting played anyway. And then it's sacrificed and gone. But I could well just be doing that to get a card that I can't do anything with anyway. I'm sure there will be turns where I'll be willing to discard 2 cards. So we try and draw 5. It can't be done. So I'm shuffling quite a small deck now. And we move on to hour 4, the first vigil. A new interference comes in. This is like we saw at the very start when the first page told us what to set up, the level 1 and 2 interference. So that was a level 2 interference. I'm just seeing that this was a level 1. So maybe it'll be a bit nicer to us. But hopefully I've got a few things up my sleeve to protect from it, maybe. And yeah, the wax candles. So probably good to get that last use out of them. Because yeah, the wax candle's gone this time. So we've got another magical power. The Exorcism of the Water. We need some more cards. Not getting our interference straight away, but next card that's drawn is the interference. 4, 5. What have we got? Wax candles. But this is their... Yeah, they've burned down to the nubs. So we could get those candle nubbins going. I mean, the devil... I can't afford right now. I suppose I could. I'm just trying to think, have I got a way? Oh, I have got a way of earning 1 magical power, haven't I? Next round. Thinking what I could do is 2 wax candles, get the salamander out, sacrifice it for 3. You're the 4th, and get that devil out. That's 5 magical power waiting in the wings. Need 6 to get that grand circle out. In the meantime, though, I want to get the Book of Pacts out. But by not doing it, they're going round again and might not help me. But this interference comes out and it's like you've got to summon it if you've got power, and then I've got to waste me devil. Okay, we won't put the devil out. We'll bear him in mind. Could sacrifice this to see what that interference is, but we'd have to discard both of these. I think I'm going to use my free magical power, and we will sacrifice a wax candle, because the hour's 4 or more now, so it gets sacrificed instead of being scrapped, to put the salamander out. We're running out of space for all me active things. And we're going to have to say goodbye to the devil. Yeah, just because I'm afraid this interference is just going to make me have to scrap the devil again, and then I don't know if I'll be able to get it out in the future. I've got many turns left in this hour, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what the interference is. It's the Cursed Hourglass. Interference and an artifact. You must summon it. Oh dear. Remember when we were hoping that the interference might be a bit kinder? So the first thing we got to do, right, is summon this card. When summoned, immediately discard the remainder of your hand. Do you know what would have been amazing? I was thinking it would be a bad idea. It wouldn't have been perfect. But I was thinking about using the deck of cards. Discard these 2, draw this one. I was just scared it'd make me do something. It'd make me summon a cost or something. But I think that would have been the thing to do. If I could have known it would be the Cursed Hourglass, which you can't know, then yeah, because then immediately discard the remainder of your hand and draw a new hand. It would have been the only card in my hand. So as it is, though, we have got to discard a lovely hand of things, including the Book of Pacts. And I don't think that leaves us with 5. And it says immediately you've got to draw a new hand. Another interference comes in. So we've got like 6 is the last one, right? Morning's coming. I'm very afraid. I don't feel like I'm going to get the summoning done, but I feel like I've done a much better job than usual of getting rid of my cards. Maybe at the cost of everything else. All right, 2 more. Interference is coming right up, and perhaps sacrifice too much because I haven't got kind of enough turns in this deck anymore. So we've got our final wax candle. We've got our grand circle. So I'm trying to think now. We have got to summon we've got to summon the Book of Pacts, which costs 3. We've got to summon this that costs 6. How do we do that? So summoning this costs 4, sacrifice you, and we've got a free one, and then that's 3. Surely that's what I've got to do. I can't waste time doing anything else. But if this makes me spend... If this makes me spend magic power in some way, it's over. So we sacrifice you, Noble Salamander, and spend our free magical power, last free one, to summon the Devil in the Hearth. No, that's not enough, is it? 3, 4, that's not enough. Maybe something we draw next time gives us a magical power? Because that gives us 5, 6, and now we haven't got enough. Draw a card would be nice if it wasn't going to be the interference. Would, I guess, be nice to know what it is. I think we're really close. I think this. I feel like this is the closest I've been, but I don't think I'm quite going to get there. I think I'm going to be 1 magical power short. So sacrifice. We've got to do it because it's going to be gone, isn't it? There are more harder things because people say it's too easy. Smarter people than me, of course. Some very intricate things with the Weeping Tree and Vitriol. I suppose, like, it's not over, is it? I'm perhaps panicking too much about getting the Grand Circle summoned now. We've got that deck of cards just drawing one thing. Because at the end of your turn, sacrifice your hand instead of discard. Oh. Yeah, but we could still summon the Grand Circle, even if that's in play. That would tie us to having to sacrifice the hand instead of discarding it. I've got Vitriol back in my hand, though. So if we draw the 2 cards, I have got to summon that this turn. But there's no point just kind of moving on to the next turn, is there? Anyway. Oh yeah, Vitriol will be just be sacrificed, won't it? I don't have to worry about it being in my hand again. Let's see what the 2 cards are. So scrap the Wax Candle, because the Grand Circle is going to have to be done, because at the end of your turn, sacrifice your hand. Can't sacrifice that, because then it's gone. The Interference. Reliquary? Reliquary? You must summon this. Just looking then about how bad is this going to be. It could be worse. It could always be worse. When summoned, put all artifacts in your hand under Reliquary. They are considered out of play. When this is sacrificed, return all cards underneath it to your hand. It's going to get in the way of having no cards, isn't it? I hope this isn't Baphomet. It's exercised water. I don't think I can really do anything with you right now. I could scrap a card in play to get rid of that and take my second damage, couldn't I? I've got to get you out. we need the circle in play. So lodestone, sacrifice and pay 6 to summon the grand circle. So sacrificing this gives us 5, and a wax candle gives us 6. So should I scrap something to get rid of that, to sacrifice that? It'll get me my second damage, but then they're all in my hand and they'll get scrapped. Because the 2 cards left, we can't afford, can we? I can't afford to do it. It's very, very, very close. But the 2 cards left in the deck are Baphomet and the book. Book of Pacts. I just can't afford to put that out. Can't risk drawing a card because it might be... Oh, no, I can just sacrifice you. Sacrifice this to sacrifice an artifact. So it's just gone, isn't it? Or an interference or a Tanist. It's an artifact and an interference. So they're sacrificed. They come back into my hand. I can't do anything with... I could put the vitriol back out, but it wouldn't help me. And then, while Grand Circle is in play, sacrifice any card that would be scrapped from play or discarded from your hand, preventing all of their when sacrificed abilities. So they're all gone. This is so close. So we draw 2 cards, we shuffle the discard, but there's no pile of anything. Yeah, drawing a card would be bad, because if it's Baphomet and we sacrifice them, that's just it. Unfortunately, though, it's too late anyway, isn't it? Because the cock, he doth crow. The last conjuration. Just a bit short. Can you take a little discount? It's morning time. Put a card from the discard pile in your hand or at the top of the deck. That's not going to help me. There's no more cards to draw. I can gain a magical power. Can't give me a cheeky discount on the Book of Pacts. Should probably... I had opportunities to get it out earlier. Maybe been a bit... I've gone from being maybe overly cautious of sacrificing things early to doing it a bit too much. But, yeah, the last step is basically you have 3 wax candles, a salamander at your disposal, ready to give you the 3 magical power you need. Book of Pacts is out. You need to sacrifice the Book of Pacts, the Grand Circle, the Wand of Power to summon Baphomet, who would then get rid of everything that was in play, preventing all of their abilities. 2 magical power more, and that would have been a win. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about that, though, because that is by far the closest that I've come to doing it. Maybe something's clicking finally in my brain. It's just about making good decisions, isn't it? Which generally, not so good at. So yes, the deck ran out. We had our last round. Didn't have enough to do anything. Would have just discarded them. And we get our judgments, but we don't actually because we lose. But there is... So, as we said earlier on, that it is not summoning and getting rid of all of the cards in your draw pile, discard pile, hand is not winning. That is not losing. It does not guarantee you have won. Everything that is still in play will count against you because, yeah, you've got to get it out of your hand, haven't you? Like if you've still got stuff about. So, you score a point for the current hour, and then I'm not doing this as my scoring, by the way, I've lost. But hypothetically, you would score a point for the current hour, and then 2 points for every other hour remaining. A point for each point of health you still have remaining. So I've still got a couple of points of health left. Subtract a point for every card that was still in play and consequently destroyed when Baphomet was summoned. So it would have worked out, but so what would I have had? A point for the current hour. No more hours remaining. I would have had 2 points for this and then lost 2 points. It's all a moot point, isn't it? Because I didn't have the power for it. So I could have had a point. If somehow, if I'd doctored a card to give me 2 more magical power, then I could have got through this with a point. But yeah, like, ideally, you don't want any of this stuff. So, like, to get to these high scores, like, you can only have 3 health left. You can only, like, have him not take points away from you. You've got to have a few days in the bank, haven't I? I'm a wizard. 1 point would have been a win, though. Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, would have been a spot-on wizard. Like, I'll just have to change my copy. So we just... It's clearly, like... I think this player's proven that the deck is 2 magical power short, right? So we're talking about the interference cards. Obviously, I don't mean that. I reckon that's obvious, but you never know. The internet sometimes. Hey, wacky things the video making people do on the internet. Let's not get into that, right? So yeah, there's a ton of these, and it told us right at the start of the game, based on the difficulty you're doing. So that was all Circle of the Adept. That's where I am, but you can go further and further up. So this only put in 3 interference cards, and they were only from level 1 and 2. So they can be more plentiful. They can come from the deeper depths. So we saw some kind of easier ones, but it could have been the Guardian of the Door. They do have types, though. So we saw the things that, like, you know, discard it if you're a sacrifice a Tannis to do this. You know, sacrifice it if it's a interference. Like, the types will come into play loads. You must summon this. All other artifacts and Tannis cost an additional 1 to summon. I mean, I couldn't afford them anyway. The number of the beast, draw 6 cards each turn instead of 5. And at the end of your turn, scrap all of them except 6 of your choice. If this is in play at the start of hour 6, you lose the game. Obviously, I'm an adept. I haven't seen the level 3s yet. And there's also included cards for you to make your own. And there's a all art Baphomet, if you've got it in your head what that card does. And there's a Lux Eterna themed interference card as well. And an Aleph Null themed Lux Eterna card. And a little reminder, we should do that at some point. It's not languishing, it's thriving on my shelf, but I don't think we've ever done a stream for it, have we? So I feel like that has gone a lot better than I was worried it was going to go. I feel I've at least shown off some semblance of strategy of the game. So that is Aleph Null, available now in all good shops. I got one from one, with its lovely wooden tokens, wooden grimoire holder. Burn for all eternity. Take some comfort in knowing that I was 2 magical power short of being the second lowest rank. But, you know, it's better than no rank, isn't it? It's still better than them pesky adepts. We're still 1 whole layer of prestige above those. What was that noise? I'll investigate that very shortly. So there we go. I'm sure, like, we should do one. We should do more when I progress in my career as a demon summoner, of course. But for now, that is the summoning for the evening. As we can see daybreak coming in. I have failed and will burn for all eternity, but you can prevent that from happening and summon Baphomet, who is going to make the world great, right? Yourself, with some Aleph Null. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Tony, designer of the game. If anything I've said, don't worry about it. Tony's corrected it in the live chat, which if you're watching back later, you can still see. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. You can support the channel in ways if you want to, but thank you very much for just watching and hanging out with me, especially if you're doing it in, well, not especially, equally, if you're doing it in the future as well. It's built for all time, wasn't it? I will be back in some pre-recorded form doing some kind of... Oh, there's more horror actually coming this weekend. There'll be a new story series coming up on Sunday. And I will be back. Probably next week's live will be a UK Games Expo thing, because I still haven't done that yet. And in just over a week, it'll be the expo right in front of us. So that needs talking about. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and I will see you all very, 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 very soon. Bye, 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 bye.